lockstep. So we're going to go ahead and get this recorded. As usual, we want to thank all of you for showing up for this evening's call, and we want to welcome all of you that are new to the community. We definitely congratulate you and welcome you at the same time to what we feel is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity where individuals are able to use the physical activity that they're already producing on a daily basis and earn digital rewards at the same time that have real world cash value. It's as simple as that. And we're glad that you're with us. What we do on Tuesday nights is we have the distinct pleasure of having the creator of the platform come and actually share directly with the community things that are taking place within the ecosystem so that we can have a true, clear understanding of the direction that things are moving in so that we can all be cognizant and be able to help articulate and communicate to others about what's going on so we can continue to grow our community, which does what? It actually helps increase the value of the assets that we're actually obtaining on a daily basis. During this call, you may actually hear some things about numbers and, and potential rewards that are achieved by individuals. Just know that none of the information is to be considered as financial advice. The information is used for you to add to any additional research and for you to understand and make an informed decision as to whether or not this is something that you would like to have as a part of your investment portfolio, or not even investment portfolio, just your growth or wealth portfolio, as it will. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring to the fore Miss Lynette Artin, who is the creator of this illustrious project, and let her share what she has to share with us this evening. Miss Lynette, are you with us?
You caught me off guard there. I didn't have my I was like, oh shoot, how do I get back over to the MoveQuest there? To the webinar. All right, hold on here. I just gotta get one more thing. I don't really have a screen share tonight because I really want to clear the air on some things. It's kind of funny, we're not in a lot of the social forums that a lot of people are accustomed to being in, and we're probably going to be in them even less, as time goes on, because we're going to create like a news section on the website. So when people need information, they can go there and get it. We'll make it interactive so that you guys will be able to ask questions and stuff, because we really we need to get our community used to making sure that you're talking to real people here with MoveQuest, that we're not scammers. Telegram is just riddled with them. And it still, kind of surprises me how many people are still over there in Telegram in these groups, and knowing full well that we're not in Telegram simply because of all the scammers that are there. I hope everybody heeded my warnings last week and you guys got out of that Telegram group if you were added there. I'm not on Telegram, so anybody that sees my name there, I am not there. So you know that it's a scammer that's approaching you. But tonight, what I really want to go over, I have a core group that brings me back feedback from the community, and there's some people that get it, what MoveQuest is about. There's some people that like to sound like they get it, and they're pretty clueless. And then there's people who are still learning, and that's what we're here for, is to keep, educating and teaching you. And even as long as I've been in crypto, and even though I do understand crypto, sometimes to different levels than other people understand it, I'm still learning too. Crypto is always going to be evolving. It hasn't been here very long. And so never feel bad because you don't know something. Don't pretend you do know it. Uh, to make, I don't know if people do that to make themselves feel better, or if they do it because they really need that, pat on the back from the groups in these forums. But some of those messages come across kind of rude, and so I really want to tonight, I want to clear up and really make sure that people understand MoveQuest. It's actually very, very simple. The whole idea behind MoveQuest is about moving more and becoming healthier. And while you are becoming more fit, becoming more healthy, you're also mining tokens. So this is a great way to introduce yourself into the crypto space. I get, and I say this on my calls quite frequently. I get really tired of these projects that come out that have uh, no ecosystem. They're just really they end up being a money grab in the end for the people that created them. And I got stuck in getting involved in projects like that. I was never the creator of a project, but MoveQuest is the only one. Get Fit Mining than the MoveQuest, but I have you know consulted with other project creators. I've wrote their white papers, um, and then go back and I tell them like this is not going to work. Oh yeah, it is. You don't know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about because none of them are still here. MoveQuest is. We're 4 years into development, and people have been mining now on this platform for over 3 years. So definitely, um, what we've done is created that self-funding ecosystem. It's not going anywhere. It's completely on chain. It's totally decentralized. There's nobody that's managing anything. Now, as a creator of this project, are there certain things that I watch? Yeah, I created the algorithm for this project. I created how this whole thing works. Absolutely. I'm watching everything to make sure that it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Why? Because I have a responsibility to this community who's getting involved in this project to keep my finger on the pulse to make sure that if that algorithm, is doing something funky or what it's not supposed to be doing, or it's triggering, wrong times to inject liquidity or whatever, that I can go in and I can, correct that algorithm. And so far, it's working like a gem. So yes, am I that closely involved with this project? Of course I am. I created the thing. I mean, you guys should want me to make sure that everything is operating and the algorithms are working properly. And as we add our new features, everything makes sense and remains solid. So when you hear somebody in Telegram saying, oh, well, Lynette is behind the scenes. Yeah, I am behind the scenes. I'm watching this algorithm. I'm making sure that everything works. Why? Because I'm a perfectionist. And I want to make sure that everything here is perfect and that everybody wins when they're a part of MoveQuest. And I'm not going to apologize for that. That's my job. That's my responsibility to the community. So when you hear people say that, absolutely, I am. And shame on me if I wasn't here making sure that what I created wasn't functioning properly. So we're going to talk about how simple this really is. And I know, like, when I get on these calls, I'm not going to share spreadsheets with you tonight. I'm not going to go over numbers with you tonight, but I am going to try to give you guys a better understanding of how liquidity works, not just for MoveQuest, but for any project that you get involved in. And then I want to just go over how simple this project is quickly. When you get started with MoveQuest, yes, you got to have some basic knowledge of crypto. And we're going to be introducing a project tonight here shortly that's going to be using our platform. That's the one thing about MoveQuest, is that part of our ecosystem is that I have designed this to function like a blockchain, but it's not a blockchain. What do I mean by that? Other projects can use our system and they can benefit from it the same as you. MoveQuest, the ecosystem, the utility behind this project, and it brings more value even to you in the community, because you can expand your portfolio knowing full well that you're involved in a crypto project that does have a self-sustaining ecosystem, and that 99% of all the transactions and the money that comes through the project isn't going into my pocket, but that 90% and up to 150% does stay with the project. And I'm going to explain that when I go over the liquidity. So for those of you that like taking notes, this is going to be a great time to do it with the liquidity. Of course, this is being recorded, so they're going to make it available. I'm going to go through it quickly because I don't want to keep everybody on tonight. I'm one of these people, I'll start to talk and, before you know it, I'm deep diving into crypto and I've lost everybody, 30 minutes before I realize that I've just really jumped into the deep end and nobody knows what I'm talking about. But simple, okay? MoveQuest is not a Ponzi scheme, okay? And there was somebody on a meeting that I was in, I kind of have an idea who it was. It said, kind of sounds to me like it needs the new money coming in. Well, it doesn't, okay? We don't rely on the new money. We don't even use the money that comes in from minting your miners, okay? The crypto, I should say. To me, crypto is money because I don't use money. I use crypto for almost 90% of everything I do in my life now. You're going to need MoveQuest, and you're going to come through what we call the hatchery. Okay, the hatchery is where you're going to mint those miners. And as a perk, when you go buy that MoveQuest and you spend it to mint your miners for 222 days, you're going to get an additional mining pool, and you're going to be able to mine an additional 0.001846 per MoveQuest that you spent. So if you spent 10 MoveQuests to mint your miners, you're going to get every single day that you're mining 0.001846 times 10 every single day. That's a perk. You mint the miners. It's our way of helping you not have to be out of pocket, okay, to kind of become in profit. Because over those 222 days, the goal is that MoveQuest will maintain its market value or it will increase in its market value, right? That's the first step, okay? Now, I'm not going to get into all the pre stuff, which is, the MetaMask wallet and all this other stuff. I'm just telling you what our system is. You start out right away using MoveQuest and AVAX to mint your miners. Your miners are NFTs. They are tokens, and they're minted in real time. And we've got 5 levels of miners. Okay, we've got the Navigator, we have the Trailblazer, we have the Explorer, the Vanguard, and the Titan. The Titan is the highest powered miner, and it can increase its power up to 1,000%. We will be turning that on here very, very soon. I would say no less than 7 to 14 days. Okay. And you will see those Titans begin to increase their mining power, which is crucial right now because we're also in the process of increasing the daily distribution of MoveQuest in the mining pool. So everybody knows you have 2 days to submit. And so we are adding it. It's been added as far as calculation goes, but the actual MoveQuest will go into the mining contract tomorrow. And then when you submit, it will backdate for those 2 days. So you didn't lose anything. We're still starting at the same time we said we would. It's just how it works within the smart contract because of the 48 hours that everybody has. Now, once you get those miners minted from the hatchery, it's done instantly, it's done in real time, it's recorded to the blockchain. You need to do 2 things. One, decide if you want to evolve them up to higher powered miners, okay? Because the highest powered miner that you can get in the hatchery are the Vanguards. Then you have to upgrade from there. Once you've upgraded, and you don't have to upgrade, but if you do want to upgrade, you upgrade, then you have to plug them in to the mining dock. It'd be like plugging a cord into, an outlet so you can blow dry your hair or whatever you're going to use the outlet for. You have to plug this miner in because that physical fitness that you're doing every day, all the steps, the distance that you're walking, the workouts, your calories that you're burning, and even your sleep at night. Okay, we have all 5 health categories that you're mining for. In all of your other move to earn applications, it's the steps that are doing the mining. But we want this to really be geared around health. We want to see everybody really live longer, live healthier, and achieve goals that you want for yourself to become that healthier version of yourself. And so we have all 5 categories, and sleep is extremely important. Now, calories and sleep, they mine at a much lower rate. Your steps, your distance, and your workouts, those equate for 90% of your mining power. And then your sleep and your calories burned are only 5% each. So that's 10% of what your miners are capable of mining. Now, once you've unlocked those dock slots, you plug your miners in, okay? You plug them into the miner or the dock, and now you're ready to start moving. Okay, every day that you move, the more you mine, the healthier you become, right? That's all you have to do. Hatch your miners, upgrade them if you want to through the evolution, unlock your mining dock slots, plug in your miners, and start moving. That's it. And the more you move, the more you mine. And the more physical data that's coming from your health, your fitness apps like Samsung Health, Health Connect, Apple Health, that's coming through those miners and it's generating hashes. And then when you submit your proof of physical activity, it's recorded to the blockchain and it's based on mining shares. Okay, there's so many MoveQuest in that mining pool per day. And the more you move, based on the entire community, determines the amount of mining power based on your miners, based on your activity, that determines what amount of MoveQuest you're going to receive from your mining. And it's all recorded to the blockchain. We do not store your data, nothing, not a single thing. We literally at this point, I think, have 26 images on our server. That's all our server holds. We don't need a, that's the only thing we need a server for. Why? Because it's completely decentralized. You manage and control the whole thing. I manage the algorithm to make sure it works right, but you're in total control of everything that you're mining. Now, once you've submitted that proof of physical activity, you can begin to claim your mining rewards. Okay, we have a 48-hour window because we're a global project. And so, we've got countries that are either ahead of us or behind us. So we've got that 48-hour window. Once that 48 hours is passed, you can start to claim your MoveQuest tokens. If you claim them every day, it's more expensive. If you wait 10 days, it's only $1, okay, to claim your MoveQuest tokens. They never expire. There's no deadline. Once you've mined them, those tokens are yours. Everything is managed by smart contracts. That means that these smart contracts are basically like an escrow. And so it's waiting for you to make a call to that contract to say, give me my tokens. Here's what I did today, and generate everything that it needs to send to you, done instantly and in real time. So you're not waiting for somebody to sit in the background like myself to push a button so that you can receive your rewards. Okay, now the next thing I want to go over is the cost. I want people to really understand the concept behind this and understand that this is a crypto project, right? And we've been mining on the Avalanche blockchain. On August 1st will be our 1 year anniversary on Avalanche. And it's been really an amazing ride. You guys have done amazing. The token has done amazing. There isn't another move to earn application that has a market value that our token has. And we are that long-term project. So you're not going to see pumps and dumps. There's no whales here because there was never any pre-sale of these tokens. There was a liquidity raise. There was the liquidity added to the pool, and then everything has to be bought or mined. Another thing that's really important to understand is that there is no allocation of tokens. So when you go to other projects and you look at their roadmap, what do you see? 20% for marketing, 20% for developing, 20% for designing, 20% for the admin team. And then there's this little 10, 15, 16% that's allocated to the community almost all of the time. So that means that the lion's share is held for the project. There's no allocation here. I have to mine them just like you, and I have to buy them just like you. Not one single token was given to me, the developers, the core team, the designers, not a one. And so that's really important for everybody to understand. That's why you don't see hundreds of millions of tokens for MoveQuest. We mirror Bitcoin's tokenomics, 21 million, and we replicate their same halving schedule as Bitcoin. And even that could have been tweaked a little bit better, maybe less going out in the beginning, because you end up with, people who mine, obviously, the first people to start mining are mining the most. So if you're a holder in the future, that's very beneficial to you. If you're not a holder, then you can oversaturate the market before we have really had a chance to get out there and do any kind of marketing and, the press releases and the interviews and doing what needs to be done to get the demand up. So when you see those red candlesticks on the exchange, those are people who are selling before the demand is there on the market. Luckily, we built this project the right way. Had this been any other project, MoveQuest would be gone already. Okay, we'd be sitting at probably 1 penny, 2 pennies market value if we built like the other projects do, and it wouldn't have any market value at all. But because we are that self-sustaining ecosystem, and everything stays with the project, 90% to 150, which you're going to understand here in a minute, stays with the project. It is very strong. No, we don't have hundreds of millions in the liquidity pool, but we will get there where we do, because this project will always be here. It can't be shut down. It's not going to go bankrupt, because everything is math and all the equations work, and it's all based on the community. It's literally a community driven project. Now, the next thing I want to kind of just touch on, because a lot of people talk about the submission fees. You guys have to understand it's a self-sustaining ecosystem. And so you're using your miners, you're using our platform, the infrastructure, everything that's here to mine these tokens, and there's a mining fee. Okay, when you submit those tokens, and that becomes liquidity. It's a huge part of this ecosystem. And I want you guys to kind of think about things logically. If you were on a diet plan and you had to, if you were using like Jenny Craig, or you were using Weight Watchers, those meal plans, they're going to cost you anywhere from $350 to $600 a month. Okay, that's a lot of money. Especially when most of that, sometimes it works, but I mean, really, how often does it work for the long term? Not very. A lot of people fall off of those diets. They're not fun. It's really hard to, eat Weight Watchers food when, somebody's sitting next to you with a juicy steak that just came off the grill, or a big bowl of ice cream with caramel and chocolate on it, and you're eating a little tiny brownie from Weight Watchers. That's what that would cost you. Now, if you're mining here with MoveQuest and you're mining with navigators, it's only going to cost you about $19 a month. And if you're mining with 9 navigators. If you're mining with 18 navigators, it's going to cost you about $38. Now, a gym membership, depending on where you go, if you're using like the YMCA, or if you're using, like Planet Fitness, of course, it's going to be a lot cheaper than the Y. But you're looking at anywhere from $30 to $150 per month. And what those gym memberships, you spend the money on them, but how many people ever use them? So even with the navigators, you're still spending less to become more healthy, more fit. And it doesn't, to become more healthy and to have that, and, Mike So, if he's on this call, he'll tell you, and many others that are here, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days later from using MoveQuest, people are dropping weight. They're building muscle. They're feeling healthier. They're coming off medications. They didn't change anything other than they moved more. They didn't add diet plans and all this other stuff into their lifestyle. Now, if you're one of these people that use Ozempic, you're going to spend anywhere from $300 to $1,200 a month for that. If you're mining with 9 Titans, it's going to cost you about $143 a month to submit that proof of physical activity to the blockchain. And if you're mining with 18, you're going to spend $286 a month. You're still spending less than you are on a meal plan from Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers. The gym membership, okay, they got us beat on that one. But the gym membership isn't rewarding you through mining the MoveQuest tokens that can, and I love to go over the tokenomics, and I love to show my spreadsheets, and I love to show people, look, if the community grows to 10,000, if it goes to 50,000, and the daily submissions and the liquidity that gets injected, this is what the market value would be. It's not speculation. It is numbers. It's math. It's based on the ecosystem. So you can get a really solid idea of where the market value of this token would be at. But people really understood the concept of this project, how the ecosystem self-funds the liquidity, and that you don't sell if the demand isn't there. I mean, that's honestly, guys, that's just common sense. Like, I know that people struggle, right? And you want to cash that out, or you don't want to come out of pocket for a project. That's fine. You don't have to. It's a self-sustaining ecosystem, but you won't see that market value increase. Imagine if the market value was $100, $200. There was already 125 at one time. So getting to those numbers is not, it's not, it's going to happen. I think my earbuds just quit. So hopefully everybody can still hear me now. But it was like feeling muffly in my head. So what I'm trying to explain to you is that the submissions is part of that ecosystem. Now it's, and think of it like that. If I was buying a meal plan, if I was paying for that gym membership, if I was doing the Ozempic, but understand that all of those things there are not rewarding you with that MoveQuest. And that MoveQuest is very valuable to those of you who are holding it. And it's going to become even more so. And hopefully after we, make some introductions tonight, you guys will start to see the power behind that. And I probably will show you one spreadsheet tonight, just because I want you guys to get a real clear picture. Next, I'm going to share my screen right now because I want to show you, because I think this is like the perfect time. It couldn't have been any more perfect when it came up yesterday in a meeting that I was in. I was like, oh, this is the perfect screenshot because I want to show you what the ecosystem does. Does everybody understand what a liquidity pool is? Okay, it's 2 tokens. And for our liquidity pool, it's the MoveQuest token and it's USDT. We chose to stay with a stable token. And you guys should all be thrilled about that because look at how volatile AVAX is. You don't know from one day to the next if it's going to be $18 or if it's going to be $31. Okay, it really has a major shift. And so if we were paired to AVAX, for example, when AVAX dips, MoveQuest would dip. Even if MoveQuest wasn't dipping, it would dip. And so if you use the stable token, you get the real true market value because USDT is equal to $1 or 0.99 cents sometimes market value wise. Now, this sell right here, all of these huge sell-offs, you see all this? This happened starting on June 6th. Okay, and somebody had asked me, well, do you think it's because when the DAX slots open, people sold to unlock the DAX slots? Nope, it absolutely wasn't because of that. Because you know what? Not a whole lot of people opened up those DAX slots, which is going to be huge for those of you who did. Okay, so just explain. If you're still mining with the 9 DAX slots, you're going to mine a little bit more right now, not a ton more, a little bit. Those of you who did open up those additional 9 DAX slots, you're going to really see that MoveQuest bump up. It could even be as much as double what you are used to mining. And so that is a good thing, but it was not because of that. In fact, I think when I did the calculations yesterday, it was only 614 additional miners that were added to the DAX slots. And if it was 9, divide that by 9, it was like 61 people, I think, that would have unlocked those additional DAX slots. And so that's going to be a big deal for those of you who did. You're going to be really extremely happy that you did. And then, of course, once more people start to unlock those additional DAX slots, you'll start, well, maybe not, because we continue to increase the MoveQuest. So you should see that stay up there pretty good for those of you who did unlock those. Now you got to understand, right? I got MoveQuest and I have USDT in this pool. Now everybody knows in a pool you've got a shallow end and you got a deep end, right? If you got an in-ground pool. Now think of the shallow end. In the shallow end, what token do you think you want to be in that shallow end? MoveQuest. You don't want MoveQuest to be in the deep end. If MoveQuest is in the deep end, that means there's way too many MoveQuest and the market value is super, super low. You want MoveQuest in the shallow end. You want USDT in the deep end. Okay. And so when you have more selling volume than buying volume, you're going to see the dip. The algorithm, and let me ask you all this question. Don't think about yourself, but think about on a whole, like the whole liquidity idea and the whole token, and think even like on Wall Street and, anything that you would, look to make a profit on. If you seen all of the selling volume, like you see right here, do you think it would be smart for the ecosystem to drive that back up for these people who are selling? I mean, is that a smart move in your mind? Or would it even make sense? It doesn't make sense. It makes 0 sense because the sellers are selling because they're happy with that market value. They're happy when the market value is at $7. They're happy when the market value is at $6.92. They're happy to sell it. let them sell it. It's the holders that don't want that price. Okay, they want the higher market value. So they're holding on to that MoveQuest. Now, when you see all of this red, the ecosystem is paying attention. Okay, it's watching all of this. So you can see here, the selling pressure stopped. Okay, the ecosystem will buy it up. Then you'll see it drip. And then you'll see the ecosystem buy again. But when you see something like this right here, and this started on the 6th, and it ended, we'll say right about, yeah, it was about the 14th. Okay, because it's been about 3 days that the ecosystem's been kicking. Why? Because that selling pressure had subsided. So the ecosystem tests it. It says, okay, let's correct the market value based on, the last years of mining. The selling trend is about over. And is it time to bump it up? The ecosystem has all of this data that tracks back from day one, and it sees the patterns and it knows what it's looking for. So what does it do? It adds liquidity. And you see a little bit, it's not much sales, but some. And so the ecosystem is happy about that. And so it does it again, and it adds in that liquidity. Why? Because the sellers got what they wanted. Okay. And now it's correcting it, and it's adding more liquidity. It's buying and adding. And then once it does the injection, you'll see you'll have some of that sell off, but it wasn't huge. Okay. It wasn't like this. And so then it will buy again. Now you see here less selling, almost none. Boom, buys again. Almost hardly any selling right there. It buys again, adds liquidity. Then you've seen a little bit. You got, some of these people down here that like that $6, $7 market, and they were really excited because it hit 8 something. They're going to sell some more. And they'll go in, they'll claim their tokens, they'll come over, they'll sell it, whether they're selling it for submission fees, whether they need it for whatever they need it for. That's fine. Like that, this is a great self-sustaining ecosystem. It allows them to do that. And it doesn't hurt the market. It just keeps it at the market value. The community says, this is what I'm happy with. Then you've seen a decent amount, not huge, but there's still quite a bit. But the ecosystem was happy with it. It bought a little bit of sales. It buys and adds liquidity. And then you see it again, drops, buys. It drops, it buys. Now, if this reverses, and you can look here anytime you want on any of the exchanges, it'll tell you what the sell volume is and the buy volume. As long as that buy volume is higher than the sell volume, that ecosystem is going to keep kicking that puppy. It's going to keep moving. Why? Because the community is demanding that. But if you see this reverse and it's 21,000 in sells and 5,000 in buys, it's not going to drive up that market value for sellers. It will not do it. Sellers like the price they're getting. That's why they're selling it. They're happy with that price. And so the ecosystem lets them have it at that price. But when those sellers are done, what's left? The holders. And so it starts to reverse that, and it starts to take it back up. The buying volume, the demand is coming in. There's people that are buying the tokens. The ecosystem sees this, and it starts to come back up. So when you see all of this, it means there's too much MoveQuest in that pool, not enough USDT. So the market value of MoveQuest drops because there's an overabundance of it. When the market value is going up, it means that the demand for the token is there. And so it's more and more of that MoveQuest is coming out of the system. Now, I'm going to show you guys exactly how this works because you need to understand this. So when you go into Telegram and you get some of these people that have been in MoveQuest back in the GetFit mining days, now the Binance chain, and they want you to think they know what's going on, you can tell them that they really don't understand how the ecosystem works, and you can school them and help them understand it better. I'm not trying to be a smart aleck here. I just get tired of this. You get the same people that say the same thing over and over and over. And I feel like I explained this 20,000 times. And it's like, okay, I'm going to do this one time because I really want people to get this. So let's go back and look at, I wish I had my reading glasses in here, but I don't. 3 hours. Let's go back to 2 days ago. Yes. Okay. This is about when it happened. Here is when that started to kick in 3 days ago. When you see a removal, that's not the project removing liquidity. It's not me removing liquidity to go put it in a bank account somewhere. Okay. That's just part of a market correction. And let me explain to you why. So when the ecosystem is ready to buy the MoveQuest, every time liquidity is added, it's stabilizing it at the market value it's currently at. And so it removes the liquidity. And so if you see here, it's 15,245, if my eyes are seeing correctly, whatever that number is, 15,000 and something dollars worth of USDT. It's also removed $15,000 worth of MoveQuest. Then what it does is it buys MoveQuest. And it's all based on how much was sold, what needs to be corrected, what market value does it need to go to. There's all these, figures that play into what it's going to do. And I'm going to show you something else it does too. Okay, so I get these triggers based on the algorithm. Wait, hold, there's a lot of stuff that goes on here. And where am I at? Okay, removed, buys, and it adds. Now, what you want to do is add up. What did it buy? This would be $10,000 right here. Okay, $5,000 worth of USDT, $5,000 worth of MoveQuest, $5,000 USDT, $5,000 worth of MoveQuest. Same thing here. So it's 10, 20, 30, $30,000 right there. Okay, that's what it bought. Okay, I shouldn't say it like that. It had a $30,000 impact on the liquidity pool because it added USDT. So remember, that's making the deep end deeper. It wasn't 30,000, but it has an impact of 30,000. It's adding in the USDT. It's pulling out the MoveQuest. So you've got it's pulling, and this is the ecosystem. So remember, you guys, when the ecosystem is buying the MoveQuest, and remember, the system cannot sell MoveQuest ever. It's never sold a single MoveQuest token. It can only buy it, and it can only add it as liquidity. So when it takes 5,000 USDT, it's pulling out $5,000 worth of MoveQuest. It's creating less of a supply, okay, so that the demand is higher. The ecosystem is creating that demand of that token. It needs the token, even if it doesn't add it all into liquidity right now. It's banking it for future liquidity when that demand is there, so that liquidity is there. It doesn't sell that MoveQuest. It goes right back into either the Evolution wallet or it's returned back to the vault. So once it starts to build up and it gets to a certain level, it goes back to the vault. And right now, I'll give you guys numbers next week as to what the community is holding. But come August 1st, it will be close to 1.5 million of the 2.6 million tokens that will be in circulation. That's what the ecosystem has purchased from the liquidity pool. Now imagine if all those tokens were still here and you didn't have a self-funding ecosystem that did this part. You would still have all of those tokens in here. And that's why I said you'd have a market value of maybe a penny or 2 pennies. But the ecosystem, every time you submit, every time you claim, every time a miner is hatched because you use MoveQuest, and that MoveQuest can't be sold, it's liquidity. Every time you unlock a dock slot, every time you dock a miner, every time you plug into the mining dock, all of that stuff, every single time it is liquidity. 90% becomes that liquidity. That's how over $36 million has been cashed out from the liquidity pool since August 1st. That's a lot of money. And it still is maintaining, between the high sixes to the $11, $12 range with the current size of the community. Why? Because every single day you submit and then you claim. And when you have shared this with other people and they love the project, they love the concept behind it, they have to go buy MoveQuest. That creates that demand. They come back and they mint their miners through the hatchery, and that MoveQuest becomes future liquidity. That's all part of the ecosystem. But if not a single person ever minted another miner, you still have a community of people who are submitting. And every single day, that submission and those claims become that part of the liquidity. And that's one of the things I am going to show you on the spreadsheet. Now, if you come back up here, you'll see where it removed again. Let me see if I turn there we go. Maybe I'll see it better. It removed 20,000, but really 40,000. And it buys 10,000, it buys 5,000, and then it adds in 20,000 here, 10 and 10. Then you can see here it removes 15,000. And why does it remove it? Because when you remove it and then you drive up the market value, you can see here, it's not going to tell me what the market value. Oh yeah, it is. So right here, when it removed it, the market value was at $7.69. Then it added liquidity. Why? Because if people sell there, now it's got $20,000 buffer at the $7.69 market value. So you're not going to see the price drop. And this is why you don't see the price dropping much here when the ecosystem is working. The ecosystem won't add it in these places. It won't come in and buy the MoveQuest. It won't buy it here because it doesn't make sense to do that. But here it does. And so you want to pad that new market value with that liquidity. You remove it, you make your buys from, the different monies that's coming in through the ecosystem, and then you add in the liquidity. Sometimes it'll buy even a little bit more from the liquidity even to make the market value go where it's supposed to be at. And then you'll see here, so this here was added in at $7.69. Then it does another removal and it drives the market value back up to $7.79. So when it adds in this $25,000, which is a combination 12.7, probably closer to $26,000, it's padding the $7.79 market value with the $26,000 worth of liquidity. So it's pulling, it's buying, it's injecting, because that's the stabilizer at that market value, rather than just constantly adding in the liquidity. But at the same time, it's removing that MoveQuest from circulation. It's putting it back in the vault for future liquidity. And as the market value of the token goes up, so today, if MoveQuest was $1 and it wanted to add $1,000, it would need 1,000 MoveQuest to pair to $1,000 worth of USDT. But if MoveQuest is $1,000, it would need one MoveQuest to $1,000. And so as the market value of this token goes up, that MoveQuest has become more and more and more valuable to you as a community of people. And so just like everybody else should want to buy as low as possible, so does the ecosystem. It wants to get its hands on as much of that MoveQuest while the market value is low. You don't want to see the ecosystem wait until it hits $100 and then go buy what it needs for liquidity. No, you want it to be banking that liquidity, because when it's at $100, if it buys it at $1 and it goes up to $100 when it gets added to liquidity, that's 100 times the value in liquidity. It's a huge deal. Now I'm going to show you something here so you guys understand how the how this liquidity and the algorithm works. And I'm going to come down to this last one. I was kind of chuckling when it happened. Okay. So, and this is what crypto is. And I'm one of these people. I like buying and selling, when I see the market values go up or down or whatever. I'm more of a holder than I am a buyer seller, but this here was a removal. Okay. Now, this is somebody who's watching. And the ecosystem, the algorithm must know this, right? Okay, so this is probably a wallet that's done this in the past. So they buy $1,029 worth of MoveQuest before the ecosystem could buy $5,000 worth. And then there was a pause. Okay, now it added it. Pause, add. And I was like, that's funny, because it was supposed to buy, I think it was 10,000 at this time. But it paused. It didn't want that next one to go through. Okay, add the liquidity back in. Then you see here that same wallet sold it. So this has happened in the past, obviously, or it wouldn't have paused. It would have had both of those buys made and then the liquidity added. But it's running through. It knows what the trends are. It sees what's taken place. And so it paused it. And so they sold at the $8.35 mark. Great. They made a little bit of profit, I think like 20 bucks. But then it triggered a removal, and then the buy, and then the add. Why? Because it was going to buy $5,000 way down here, but this person sold, or the system knew it was going to sell based on past behaviors and things that have gone on in the algorithms there. Pause it. Okay, they sold. Great. Remove, buy, inject. And so great. They did get to sell it, make 20 bucks, and the market value they got for it. They bought it at $8.49, $8.50, and they were able to sell it for $8.63. But the ecosystem wanted to drive it up to $8.80. But that sell came in too soon. The algorithm knew it was going to come in, predicted it was going to happen, paused it, wanted it to be added in to stabilize the market value, and then remove it, buy, and add again. So it's pretty cool when all this stuff is taking place. But I want you guys to understand, like, this is super solid. You're not going to see, so when you see people in Telegram or they're complaining about, oh, this is what the community is saying they're happy with. And the ecosystem knows this. And it knows from the past when that selling pressure is going to subside. And then you start to see this again. Now, if the community understands this, the market value of this token is just going to keep going up and up and up and up. Sell if you have to. There's absolutely no reason why you can't sell it. You're not going to hurt the project. You're not going to tank the project. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to go away. It's going to continue to do what it's doing. You're just not going to see it spike up in those higher market values until people understand how does the liquidity actually work. And if you learned like some patience, crypto, you got to have patience. Okay. And it depends on what your goals are. Is your goal to have a daily cash out? Great, sell it every day. Is your goal to build wealth for the future? Then really try to dig in, understand how this all works, and then hold those tokens. What I want to show you guys is this. It should be on the spreadsheet right here, and it's not really meant for showing everybody, but it should give you a pretty good idea. So currently right now, this will show you February 22nd, there were 40,419 miners stacked. June 10th, there was 47,149. June 15th, there was 47,763. Okay, so I do the math. That means that 6 navigators upgraded. So from the time we added the additional DAC slots, 6 navigators upgraded, 164 trailblazers were added to the mining DAC, 16 explorers, 389 vanguards, and 51 titans. Okay, now that's only 614 DAC slots that were opened in addition. And so if you were to take that, divide that by the additional 9 slots. Oh, why did that number not go for me? Divided by 9 is why. Okay, 68 people. So it's approximately 68 people that unlock those additional DAC slots. So 68 people are going to be very, very happy. And everybody else here is going to be happy too, because it is going to give you additional MoveQuest tokens. But then as more people start to unlock those DAC slots, this will taper down, and you should still be able to mine about what you've been mining all along. It shouldn't affect you too much. What I want to show you is this. These fees are not based on the amount of MoveQuest that goes out per day. So if you take the market value, when I updated the spreadsheet, which wasn't too long ago, 880, okay. It was a few hours ago. When you have 2,500 MoveQuest being mined per day, and you times that by the market value, $8.81, that means that $22,000 every single day is being mined, or today was mined in MoveQuest. So if everybody sold the MoveQuest at the market value it is right now, the submissions should be at 22,000. Okay, so if you look down here at the current submissions, and not everybody is mining. Okay, so it's not at this daily market value. It's not at this daily amount. This is saying that if every single miner was submitting every single day, and the ecosystem was coming in through the submissions, $15,365, the pool would be, if everybody sold, it would only be shy of $6,000. Now, if you come down here and you look at the same scenario, except, let me change these. I was playing with numbers here. 0.07. I want to bring these, oh, I know what I must have done. I don't even know. I don't use the spreadsheet very often. I dug it out tonight just so I could show you guys how this ecosystem sustains itself, because a lot of people don't get this part. And I want you guys to get how the community growth is important. It's not because of the new money. Okay, you got to understand that. It has nothing to do with that at all, zero, because we don't do anything with that. It's just MoveQuest for liquidity. That's all it comes in. MoveQuest for liquidity, a little bit of AVAX goes into liquidity. If we gave everybody a miner, if we gave everybody 18 Trailblazers, for example, and they were mining every single day, it would not hurt the ecosystem because we don't even use that. But if you take these numbers and you increase them, and so let's say we had, instead of 47,000 miners in the mining dock, we had 238,000 miners in the mining dock. And I'm going to take this and times it by, let's just double it. Okay, give you guys an idea. So we'll times this by 2. And then we're going to run this. Oops. Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to run this down just so you guys see if just the community doubled in size. Do you see here what is coming in submissions every day? Instead of there being 47,000 miners stacked, you now have 95,000 miners stacked. Everything's doubled. That means our community just doubled in size. Okay, there's still the same market value in the token, and we're still basing it on 2,500 because I haven't gone in and adjusted this. That didn't change. What changed is the community grew. Not the sales of the miners, but the interaction within the app. And so when the community doubled in size, it now has $30,731 a day that's going into liquidity. Now, because it has banked MoveQuest, at this point, you're talking about a community where it's stable. The ecosystem doesn't have to do a market correction and the different things that it does to keep it going as far as the market value of the token after this major sell-off. Because when you've doubled the size and community, the demand is there for the token. And so even if people are selling it, it doesn't matter because people are buying the token. That's the whole idea. When the demand is there, you sell it. If the demand isn't there, you don't sell it. That's just the common sense behind, when you're talking about money and you're talking about crypto, you sell when there's a demand. You buy when there isn't a demand. Okay. When the demand is low and the market value is low, that's the optimal time to buy. When the market value is low is not the optimal time to sell. And so if the market value is exactly the same and the community doubled in size, this is what would be going into liquidity every day times 2, because that's $30,731 in USDT paired to $30,731 in MoveQuest. Now you see up here, this is what it needs when there's 2,500 MoveQuest going out at the $8.81. It needs the 22,000, I'm sorry. And it's in 22,000, that's just straight $22,000. That would be like $11,000 of MoveQuest, $11,000 of USDT. Now, when you come down here and the community doubles, every day just in submissions, you've got $60,000 that's going into the liquidity pool. Now, when it becomes the 150% is when it takes this 30,000, cut that in half, 15,000, it goes to the exchange, buys $15,000. That means that it removed $15,000 worth of MoveQuest. It brought that same $15,000 back, paired it to the remaining $15,000 USDT and added 30. Okay, now you've got 145, or I'm sorry, you got 45,000 that just went into the liquidity, but there was only 30,000 here. That part might confuse people, but if you wrote it down, you'll be able to understand what I'm saying. You got to take 50% of the USDT. Now, we've got tons of MoveQuest that's banked up in the ecosystem over the last 9 months. And so it doesn't have to buy the MoveQuest. And this is when it becomes so incredible because you've got the demand for the token. The community is growing in size. Not the minting of the miners. That don't mean jack. That don't mean nothing. What means something is this part right here, that daily submission. You're submitting those that proof of physical activity. And that's your liquidity. It's not the community providing liquidity individually that can just pull it whenever they want to, like the other projects. It's from the interaction of the application. And so as this community grows in size, every day, it could be adding a surplus of almost $40,000 to the liquidity pool. This is 30,000 in AVAX or USDT. It's going to pair $30,000 worth of MoveQuest. That's $60,000 that could be added to liquidity every single day because there's no overselling because the demand is there now, right? Because it's the app is growing, people love it, they see the results, and it only needed 22,000, but it's adding 60. So now you have the deep end that's overflowing, right? The shallow end is super shallow, probably doesn't even hardly have anything in it, right? And the deep end, which is full of USDT, it's got more. It's got more liquidity than it even requires. You got a surplus of liquidity. Now, if you take these same numbers, and I hope this is making sense to people. I hope you guys will understand this. So when you go into Discord and you listen to people, that aren't really getting this part, you'll understand it on your own. You see what happens when the community size triples. Now, this isn't a lot of people, okay? This divided by 18 miners. Talking about 7,900 people, guys. A community of 8,000 people submitting with 18 miners. Or let's just say nobody wants to mine with 18 and they just want to stick with 9. 16,000 people, a community of 16,000 people. You can take other projects that can get millions of people and they can't get over a penny on their token. Why? Because they don't have a self-sustaining ecosystem. They don't have utility for their project. It's not built for that long term. You take this and you times it by 4. And I really hope that this is like an eye-opener, like light bulbs are coming on for people. Okay, now you got 191,000 miners that are docked, and you've only got 21,000 people. Okay, but you're bringing in 122,000 a day to liquidity. Okay, now you're talking about a token that's hit the $100 mark. You're talking about a token that's got the liquidity to stabilize it there. It doesn't take much to get there. And so this isn't a project where you got to see millions upon millions and millions of people using this project. It's all about the self-funding ecosystem. Now, the perk to this is, yes, there is evolution for liquidity. There is hatchery for the liquidity. There is the mining dock slots, but that's bringing in all that MoveQuest. That MoveQuest has to have that USDT. So it can't pump all that into liquidity right now because it doesn't have the USDT or the AVAX to pair to it because the community hasn't grown to that size yet. So it's banked. All that MoveQuest is just sitting there for future liquidity. It's already bought it all. And that just makes the liquidity even stronger in the future. Okay, I'm done. So next thing. When I say we built this project like a blockchain, we seriously did. And that means that other projects can build on our system, on our platform. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing because I don't need to share anymore. MoveQuest is the gatekeeper. Okay. Just so you all understand this. It's when other projects come in and use our infrastructure for their tokens, it doesn't hurt MoveQuest at all because everybody has to submit first MoveQuest. And then the app will open up the additional projects and you can choose the ones that you want to submit on. Now, we did make a few which is great. Sometimes it's really good to watch things take place, right? Because my initial blueprint was to give royalties to these projects as they came in and offered their tokens to the platform. But that doesn't make sense. What makes sense if they're going to use our platform is to offer them the same self-funding ecosystem. And they don't have to have a pre-sale because you're using the same miners to mine their token. You don't have to have miners for their token. You just use the miners that you've got, and then you decide if you want to submit for their tokens or not. So they have a self-funding ecosystem too. Your submissions, your claims, and any other utility that is used for these other project tokens become liquidity. Now, here's the great thing. These projects don't have to have pre-sales because they've got a self-sustaining ecosystem. And they're able to take their fees and the different other, they've got other utilities too. And there's other things that we're adding in for the projects as well to help them build up, that stability for their project. but it gives you the assurance that when you're submitting on a token that's got real utility. It's got a use case, and they're using smart tokenomics because I'm not the smartest cookie in the world, but I do know what I'm talking about when we're talking about crypto, and I am able to help them structure their tokenomics and get it set up the right way. But what MoveQuest offers them that they can't get anywhere else unless they want to do what we did is a self-funding ecosystem. It gives them additional utility and brings more value to the community. So we do have two projects that we're going to be introducing over the next week or two. We're only going to talk about one tonight, and it's the Bullish Moon. I'm going to let Nick come on. A lot of you know him from the community, and he's got partners, and they have a company that they are a part of. And the Bullish Moon is crypto training, and then it's on there. It's their own. They're not MoveQuest. Okay. It's not MoveQuest training. It's their training, their crypto training. Yes, they have modules for MoveQuest, but it's about trading and all that. Nick's going to be able to tell you about that. They also have some other things that will make it fun for the community because we don't offer any type of MLM structure. If within our app, if you share our app, you're going to be able to get boosts. If people download the app and they're minting miners, you're going to be able to earn miners as well. Somebody could even build up their arsenal of miners just from, sharing this with other people that they might think would like it. But we don't have that commission structure in MoveQuest. So Nick's project over there does. We've got, like I said, a couple of other projects. But the good thing about their token is no pre-sale, no liquidity raise, and their distribution is going to start out even less than MoveQuest. And they've got their own community that are coming in. They're not relying on the MoveQuest community. That's a perk for all of you because they have their own community that are buying the miners, and they get a percentage of those miner sales for their liquidity as well. Okay. That tells you there that we don't need that. We share it with them for the first 30 days that people are buying their miners to help them beef up their liquidity as well. We do a 50-50 split on it. And that makes it great because now they get that initial liquidity in there, but they get the submission fees and any other utility that's there, and it becomes self-funding. And because there is no 100,000, like we did the 200,000 MoveQuest for the liquidity raise, and then we paired that to that 100,000 to 100,000 MoveQuest and listed at $1. So that was 300 and some thousand MoveQuest tokens that were in circulation. This token won't have zero. You have to mine it. And so from day one, you'll submit for MoveQuest. It will open up for their token, and then you'll be able to submit on that one. So anytime in the next, I'd say 7 to 14 days, you'll see that it's already ready. We could start mining it tomorrow, but we really want to have some time to help people understand how this works because a lot of people don't get accurate information and they kind of start freaking out thinking, oh, this is the end of MoveQuest. It's really not. This makes MoveQuest even stronger because now you have their community who is submitting for MoveQuest. But our community gets the advantage also of being able to submit for their token that has an existing community that will have that self-sustaining ecosystem. And I'm not sure exactly what they've decided, if it's going to be 500 or 1,000 daily to start, but same thing, 21 million tokens. So you guys should be really excited about that. You're going to be able to expand your portfolio. I'm working with I'm super excited about this. And I'm not going to say the name yet till everything is ready to go, but it's a fitness company and big time company that will be coming on board. Got a couple other projects too that we're working with. So we got a lot of now that the app is in the store, we were able to get that part behind us. You guys, things are going to start moving so fast. You have no idea. We've had so many things in the pipeline. So I know this is a little different from my normal update calls. But I really want you guys to understand the liquidity is so critical at this point in time for you guys to really think in your head, what is it you want to do? Do you really need to sell it every day? If you do, great, sell it. I'm not telling you not to sell it. Sell it till I don't care. But if you understand how liquidity works, and this is a project that you plan to be a part of for many years, and you understand liquidity and you can understand why the supply and demand is crucial to the ecosystem as to whether it's going to stabilize at higher market values or if it's going to just keep stabilizing at the lower market values. I also want to add one thing. None of the hatchery AVAX fees went into liquidity yet. I want everybody to understand that, okay, because there's been some buzz around that too. That will begin to be added to the liquidity pool when those hatcheries begin to release all that MoveQuest back. Most likely, people that are here for that long haul, they're going to want to just roll those MoveQuest into the golden hatchery because they'll be able to continue earning those additional MoveQuest tokens from the hatchery that it supplies. You submit, you get the additional hatchery token rewards. But for those that want to sell, they had those tokens in that hatchery mining and earning those through their mining for 222 days. So that liquidity, when that hatchery funds went in there, it has to be there in that 222 days. That makes sure that the market value is stable for those individuals who went into hatchery for that reason. And so that will also start to really beef up that liquidity as well. And we're getting close. I think we're under 100 days now. So I am done with my part. Herschel, I am going to let you introduce Nick. I'll let you guys know I met Nick in Arizona. He tried to meet with me a couple of times, and I get so tied up with things sometimes I can't always keep track of time. And I think I even missed one or two with him when he tried to meet up with me. And we met in Scottsdale at Zips. And I'm sitting there and we're getting ready to order. And I look down and I'm like, "Are you wearing two watches?" He's like, "Yep." Great talking point. It was kind of fun. Big, great guy. And we've went out. Let's see, we've had the event in Vegas and great group. You guys, they're a great group of people. All of them with that project. I got to meet his partners too. Awesome people, fun people. Like, they make you smile and feel good. Not when sometimes you go somewhere, you're like, "Oh God, I can't wait till this gets over." No, it wasn't like that. It was a lot of fun. I was sick when I was there, so I didn't get to spend as much time as I wanted to. But you guys like to party. You guys are fun. So I'm giving it back to you, Herschel.
Well, thank you once again, Miss Lynette. One thing before we move forward, I just want to ask, and because I received a couple of questions on this. I know the app is now in the App Store for Apple.
Yep.
And I know that that was one of the things that had to be done in order for us to move forward with CoinMarketCap. Do you have
Yep.
any updates on that particular piece for everybody?
Should happen any day now. So we are validating the token with the explorers, so Binance Smart Chain and Snowtrace, Snowscan. Coinbase should pick up right away. Not Coinbase, CoinMarketCap should pick up right away, as well as CoinGecko. But if not, now that this is done, any day we should start to see that stuff start popping in. You should start to see those market values in your DApp wallets. You should be able to see those conversion rates. You'll see we've got a couple of exchanges that want to pick us up that have been contacting me that want to add us there. You'll start seeing all that stuff. So yeah, we're really close. Any day. I mean, just keep watching because this stuff is just going to start happening.
Perfect. Thank you for that. And
Yep.
ladies and gentlemen, the gentleman I want to introduce to you is, it's kind of one of those things where he and I have not had the opportunity to have much direct interaction. However, he's one of those individuals that has been here from the very, very beginning of the launch on the Avalanche chain. Many of you are aware that at one point in time, I was, having calls on a daily basis, hour upon hour, and I would always see his name on the Zoom. So he would be there just in the back, just quiet, or what have you. And then as time progressed, I started seeing him actually engage the community and become more and more a part of the fabric of the MoveQuest movement and ecosystem. So I don't want to do him a disjustice by going beyond that in an introduction, but I do know that he shows up, he works hard, he believes in the project, and he wants to see it succeed, and he's putting forth the effort to make sure that that happens. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nicholas Nesbitt.
Hey, good evening. Can you guys hear me okay?
Loud and clear, sir.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Herschel, for that introduction. And I just want to turn it back to you, man. You are, between you, Lynette, the rest of the core team, you guys have been a huge inspiration, a huge motivation for my love of this project. And literally, Herschel, sitting there and watching you have the patience. I'm like, man, this guy, he resonates with me so much. And so thank you for leading and being a catalyst with that. So I don't want to be too long. I know we've been on here for a while, so I'm not going to take up too much time today. You're going to see my face a little bit more around here. And I just wanted to introduce myself. As Herschel said, my name is Nicholas Nesbitt, and I'm an educator over at a company called Bullish Moon. And so I know we got a lot of Bullish Moon folks in the audience today attending here live. We had a call earlier today talking about some of these amazing updates inside the MoveQuest ecosystem and community. And we are really, really excited to be here. What Bullish Moon does is we are an education platform. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever run across a crypto project that you really, really, really wanted to introduce to maybe a family, a friend, a relative, your neighbor, whatever it might be, but you just can't get over that hurdle because they have zero knowledge of cryptocurrency and they wouldn't even know where to begin if you gave it to them for free. If you gave them some AVAX, if you gave them a miner, they still wouldn't know what to do with it. Well, yes. So what we do is we take those type of people and we help educate them from the ground up. We've got modules in there to teach people how to buy cryptocurrency, where to buy crypto, how to convert, how to get a wallet. Most importantly, we teach people how to secure their crypto. Security is super, super important in the crypto space, especially, just in crypto in general, really. But security, the difference between DeFi and CentrFi, how to look at charts, just a bunch of different things when it comes in crypto. But getting that person off the ground floor is like our specialty. Our motto is no one left behind. So we believe that it doesn't matter how old you are, how young, how old you are, we are super, super patient. I've got that vibe like Herschel has. I could sit there for hours and hours and hours and help walk somebody through it just because I want to make sure that they understand what it is that they are getting involved with. And so my team and myself, we really value that. And so we don't take it for granted. And we want to make sure that everybody gets educated and onboarded the right way, no matter what it is. So we're very, very excited to be here. We're very excited to be part of this MoveQuest journey in integration with Bullish Moon. And let me just tell you guys something else. This Bullish Moon token is going to be really, really hot. Like Lynette had kind of alluded to earlier, we're not going to have a liquidity raise. We're not going to have allocation of token. And the only way to get the Bullish Moon token is going to be to mine it. That's right. Only the people who mine it will own it. So this is a really awesome way to help the MoveQuest ecosystem because that is the gatekeeper. And then that's going to give you access to that. And being able to start that off, we were kind of watching what MoveQuest did. And we said, you know what, let's dial it back even further than the 2,500. So it looks like we might start closer to that 500 per day distribution. And that is going to mean more value for those who mine it. And when we list, mm, 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 you guys just be ready. So in the next, keep an eye out. It could happen within the next 14 days. Like Lynette said, everything is kind of ready, but we want to get awareness out there. We want to create, what this project is really all about. Educate our community, make sure MoveQuest is everything is working together and meshing correctly so that people can get off to the right foot. So keep an eye out. It's gonna drop any day. And this is going to be really, really exciting. So thank you so much to Lynette. Thank you so much to the core team. Thank you so much for everything that MoveQuest has been able to do to help this partnership happen. And that's all I don't want to take up too much time. Let me know if you
Wonderful.
have any more questions or you want me to speak on anything else today, Herschel, if you want me to wait and go into any more details.
Well, you've definitely given us a great idea of the concept behind what Bullish Moon is going to be bringing to the platform as an option for those individuals that are currently mining on the platform, as well as us being able to welcome the Bullish Moon community to MoveQuest, as time moves forward. So I know we're going to be having a lot of other engagement with the rollout as things progress or what have you. So we can kind of, on the next one, we know we can continue to share a little bit more and more and more as we get closer to that mark. But we definitely appreciate you sharing that with us this evening. So Ms. Lynette, if you have anything else, please go ahead and let us know. If not, I know we are about 20 minutes past the hour, and we'll go ahead and get this wrapped up. But we definitely appreciate Nick for sharing that information with us and all that you have shared with us as well.
And hopefully I didn't overwhelm people. I really wanted to break this down and make it super simple so everybody really gets the picture. But I do want to say, I don't know if Rob is on here. I just watched a little 30-second video that he did. That was awesome, Rob. You did a great job on that. I just shared it with you, with the group we're in, Herschel. Yeah, he did amazing. We need some of those. Nope, that's all I have, Dad. I hope everybody is super excited. I mean, we're ready to rock and roll. So we got lots of plans, lots of marketing getting ready. You know, the press releases. We've got a lot in the pipeline that's going to start moving really quick now.
Right. Okay. And I'm two more questions for you. I'm gonna make a comment and then two more questions for you. Had a gentleman asked a question on the Android devices. Do we have to uninstall GetFit app in order to install the MoveQuest app? The answer is no. You do not. You do not have to. But moving forward, you will not need the GetFit mining app for anything else moving forward. So either or, it should work either way. And
Yeah, but
then
we are going to be discontinuing the GetFit app. So everybody needs to move to MoveQuest, because here and probably anytime within the next 7 to 14 days, GetFit will no longer be available anywhere. It won't even function on your phone.
perfect. And then we still we have a handful of community members that are still waiting to receive their minors from the voluntary
Yeah, that's been a real chore. Here's the thing. So we gave a deadline to have everybody get their information to us. And a lot of the ones that I know there's a couple that did get it in. We didn't get the email because the emails get blacked or whatever, but I have to dig out that spreadsheet. Now I got to reacquaint myself with this whole list, and it's going to take me some time, but I am working through it. I started working on it again last night, and I will get through this. But you didn't get your information to us on time, so you're going to have to just be a little bit patient, because this is a done thing. I mean, if I was a mean person, I'd say, sorry about your luck, you're not getting them because you didn't get the information to us on time. But that's not the case for everybody, and I am not that kind of person. So I am going to get them out to everybody. And I promise you that by the end of the weekend, if you don't have them, I'll do something for you guys, but I will. Something that'll make me really make myself get them done, because it's a lot of work for me. You guys have no idea how grueling this is for me to have to backtrack all the way through all those spreadsheets. Now I have to go check, make sure. I mean, it caused a lot of extra work on me, and I'm already tired at the end of the day. And then I have that, and it's like, oh God, I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, and I get to the end of the day, and I'm like, oh God, I got to do this. Oh, tomorrow. And so that's what I keep doing. So I am going to get it out, because everybody keeps asking. And it is my fault. It's absolutely nobody else's that it's not done, because I'm the only one who can do it. So I will get it done.
Okay. One other question. I know we're getting, and we said it last week, but I know that time period, you said in a few weeks, but is everything still moving in a positive direction in reference to the wrapped MoveQuest and the Binance chain?
So our goal is to be, no, okay. So let me clarify everything. We're relaunching the Binance Smart Chain and making sure everybody's got miners and all of that. Don't look for the wrapped MoveQuest probably until, I think we're looking at August for that. But mining on the Binance Smart Chain, and I'll go over all this with everybody. I don't want to get into all the details yet, because until I can give everybody the details, you'll hear moaners. There's nothing to moan about, because it's actually going to really beef up the Binance Smart Chain, what we're doing. And we expect that to be ready to go, hopefully no later than the 5th, let's see, 5th, 10th, 11th. Okay, I had to go look at my calendar. 11th of July at the very latest is when we plan to be executing the Binance Smart Chain. If nothing else, everything will be ready to go. Now, what I will tell you is that in order to qualify for miners for the Binance Smart Chain, you have to submit 30 days in a row on Avalanche in order for us to match your miners on the Binance Smart Chain. So make sure if you want those miners for the Binance Smart Chain that you're submitting every day. And we're not going to give away, free miners to people who aren't engaged in the ecosystem. You've got to be engaged in the ecosystem because we're giving you those miners to be able to mine on that blockchain at zero cost. Where before, like if on the other blockchains, you'd pay that 50%. We're doing that. We want everybody to get that advantage and, take that into account too. That would be like, paying 50% less on Avalanche because you're getting the matching results on the Binance Smart Chain. I've got big plans for the Binance Smart Chain. So it's going to do extremely well, but the wrapped MoveQuest, I wouldn't expect that right out of the gate. It will be, I'm doing a lot with the GFAM token, and we may keep the GFAM token going over there instead of phasing it out. I'll let you guys all know. I'm still finishing up all the details. I probably have another week or so planning on that because I run these numbers so many different times to make sure that there's no problems or that, as I don't foresee anything that happens at the down the road when it comes to market value and liquidity. But it's going to be really good. I mean, it's going to be as hot as the Avalanche chain, just so everybody knows.
Gotcha. Okay. And you want to make sure I heard you correctly earlier. The increase to 3,000 tokens, we should start seeing that reflection within the next 24 hours.
So yeah, so with Apple, when we have to change the user interface a bit when we add those. And so we're getting that approval in. That's being submitted tonight. It'll approve probably tomorrow early afternoon because it's a minor update. And then when you submit, you'll start seeing it. It'll backdate for 2 days. So if, let's say we add them tomorrow, you actually would have started mining them on the 15th. 16th. If we add them on the 19th, you would have started mining them on the 17th. So it'll be 2 days retro.
Gotcha. Okay.
But on our end, we're ready for it. We just got Apple's got to approve that change in the UI. And the reason for the UI is also for the other projects to come in. It's kind of a combo. You don't want to update too many times. So we're trying to get as much into this update as possible. And so I know they're finishing it up tonight and it'll be submitted and then we're golden. So it is happening.
All right. And last one, and we're going to stop at this. Anybody that's already on the Binance Smart Chain side that already has miners, they will be able to use those miners to mine MoveQuest, correct?
On the Binance Smart Chain, not on Avalanche.
Right. That's what I'm referring to. Yes, on the Binance
Smart Chain. When we wrap the MoveQuest token.
Right. Okay. Perfect. Well, I definitely appreciate your time yet again, Miss Lynette. We always appreciate it on having the opportunity to hear information coming directly from you. And we're going to go ahead and wrap it.
Let me just answer 2 questions in here, Herschel, that are kind of important. Why can't I use MetaMask to swap tokens? That's a MetaMask issue. It's probably the RPC. Go to SushiSwap or one of those other exchanges, or change your RPC, or go into customer support and they'll help you because it would take me too long to try to explain it here. And then another person says, I have MoveQuest on the Binance blockchain. Will I be able to add it to the Golden Hatchery in August? You'll be able to swap that Binance MoveQuest for the wrapped MoveQuest, and you will not be able to add it to Golden Hatchery unless you are already in the hatchery. The only way you can get into the hatchery is if the Golden Hatchery is if you come through the regular hatchery first. That's a perk for everybody who come into the regular hatchery. That Golden Hatchery is like that above that upper step. So I just wanted to answer those 2 questions. Is there a deadline on those 30 days after launch on Binance? You know what? I don't want to, I know it's been too long. So if you guys write your questions down, maybe we need to have a Q&A at the end of this week or something. Hersh, maybe we can get something scheduled. We'll announce it to everybody, and then we can do a Q&A for everybody so I can kind of come in and answer these questions. We could be here all night.
Okay, that actually I think everybody would love.
I mean, I'd sit here all night. I love talking about MoveQuest. I can talk about
I
MoveQuest all day and all
understand.
night.
We can break it up. We can do a separate call, so that way we can get more people, more questions answered, or what have you. So once again, I want to thank everybody for being here with us this evening, and we will see you again next week. Good night, everyone.
Yeah, you ready? Let's get it moving. Everybody on your feet, let's go. Feel the burn, huh? Yeah, MoveQuest, baby. Woo! Let's get it started. Step up, let's go. You know what to do. MoveQuest in the house, time to break through. Lace up your shoes, burn it up, no slack. Crypto's on the rise while we're on the track. Run, jump, walk, hustle all day. Every step's a win, that's the MoveQuest way. Calories burning, we earn as we play. Earning MQT, no delay, no sway. Move your body, we on fire. Crypto flowing higher and higher. Burn, earn, and feel the heat. MoveQuest, baby, get off your seat. Let's get it moving, we're burning up. Step by step, yeah, we're rising up. Feel the rush, feel the beat. MoveQuest, the rhythm got you on your feet. Let's get it moving, we're burning fast. Every step counts, we're making it last. With every move you earn and grow. MoveQuest, baby, let's go, let's go. Hustle on the move, no stopping this flow. We're cashing in on steps, getting crypto to show. MoveQuest got the power, the future's clear. We're taking over, the time is here. From the streets to the gym, we're taking flight. Every move's a token and it's feeling right. Step, move, groove, get in the zone. Crypto's on the rise, it's ours to own. Move your body, we on fire. Crypto flowing higher and higher. Burn, burn, and feel the heat. MoveQuest, baby, get off your seats. Let's get it moving, we're burning up. Step by step, yeah, we're rising up. Feel the rush, feel the beat. MoveQuest, the rhythm got you on your feet. Let's get it moving, we're burning fast. Every step counts, we're making it last. With every move you earn and grow. MoveQuest, baby, let's go, let's go. Get on your feet, get in the game. MoveQuest is here, we're taking our claim. Crypto's flowing, no stopping this beat. Burn those calories, feel the heat. Go, go, go! Step it up, feel the vibe. Every move's a win, come alive. MoveQuest, the power, it's clear to see. Earning with every move, let it be. Let's get it moving, we're burning up. Step by step, yeah, we're rising up. Feel the rush, feel the beat. MoveQuest, the rhythm got you on your feet. Let's get it moving, we're burning fast. Every step counts, we're making it last. With every move you earn and grow. MoveQuest, baby, let's go, let's go. Get it moving, we're burning bright. Crypto fitness, we got the light. MoveQuest the way, we're here to stay. Let's go, we're on our way.